And we are joined now by retired U.S. Air Captain Chesley Sullenberger, who made that miraculous landing on the Hudson River 5 years ago. He's now a CBS News aviation and safety contributor. Sully, what do you make of this latest situation? Should we be hopeful about this, these new images that we've seen?
Well, good morning, Bob. Everyone is grasping for any bit of hope they might be able to find. This is an extraordinary circumstance in many ways, and with each passing day, it makes it more challenging because of the combined effect of wind and current on what floating debris there may be. And if it turns out that this debris is part of the airplane, which it might not, then of course the searchers have to work backwards for several weeks, applying again that wind and current information to try to find where on the ocean floor the aircraft may be, if that's where it is. Unfortunately, there were some missteps made very early on. Here we are into the third week of the investigation, and just now beginning to really narrow the search to areas that are still as large as the United States.
Well, so, this information keeps coming out in dribs and drabs, obviously, because some of it we're learning, I guess, when the searchers find it. But it seems to me some sort of there's a problem with communications here. Do you sense that?
And that's not an uncommon circumstance to find in these large endeavors. There are many countries in the world where there is not sufficient coordination between the civilian air traffic control organization and the military radar air defense organizations. There's little sharing of information. And then you add to that the regional concerns, suspicion, instability, border disputes. It makes it even harder to mount large-scale investigations, large-scale searches that most of these countries can simply not do by themselves. And if one other good thing comes out of this, it would be more widespread use globally of the Interpol Stolen and Lost Travel Documents database. My understanding is currently only the United States, the United Kingdom, and the United Arab Emirates make a 100% check of passengers on that SLTD, Stolen and Lost Travel Documents database, and that's something that should be done globally to prevent people from boarding an airplane with a fraudulent travel document.
Is it possible that we're not ever going to know what happened here?
Well, unfortunately, with the passing time, with each passing hour and day, it becomes somewhat more likely that that may be the case, or it may take many years. But hopefully some floating debris will be found that will be traced back to this airplane, and then we can work backwards to find the point where it entered the water and begin doing a search on the ocean floor to bring up as much wreckage as can be found, do a forensic analysis of that, and hopefully find the digital flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder.
When do you think we'll reach the point where we'll stop searching?
It's unlikely that we'll reach that point soon, unless there are simply no leads to follow. As we've said, it took about 2 years for the wreckage of Air France 447 to be found in the deep waters of the South Atlantic after the 2009 crash. I think great efforts and huge sums will be expended to find this aircraft and to resolve this huge ambiguity.
If these satellite images prove to be part of the wreckage, finding what is beneath the surface is the next step. Sully, we want to thank you for being with us this morning.